Edge tackle sinking mono. Again, does what it says on the tin. This is designed specifically for use when you want the line to sink. So for when you're ledgering, feeder fishing or float fishing when you want to cut the line under the surface. And we've got 5 different versions available from 4 up to £10 in the 2 options of 100 metre or 300 metre spools. So tell us a bit about your thinking on these lines, Richard.
Well, the first thing is, sinking mono is not the same as float mono. It is actually a different line. Sinking mono has less stretch than float mono, which is quite good when you're trying to spot bites on the tip. It's slightly harder, it's slightly denser. For that means that it's a little bit more durable, but also it's a different colour, and we've deliberately done that so that with this and this you can tell at a glance which is which. You know which has got the float line on, you know which has got the sinking line on. It's not going to be a problem. The other thing about this line is, despite the fact that it's slightly harder, slightly denser than the float, it's still soft and it's still...
I was going to say, because I wanted to emphasise that. Again, I've been using this sinking mono on my reels now for over a year, and I found it to be very, very hard wearing, very robust, but also lovely and supple. So it's not like some of the feeder lines that you get that are quite stiff and wiry. Yeah. So it's a beautiful line to fish with, and I think that's also important when you're thinking about distance.
Absolutely.
Because obviously if you're fishing at longer range, a more supple line is going to come off the spool easier with reduced friction, and you're going to be able to cast a bit further easier. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think you've really hit the nail on the head there with that line. So I've been using this for all my feeder fishing on both rivers and commercials. So the £4 line is my kind of go-to line when I'm fishing, feeder fishing, ledgering on rivers like the Avon. Moving up to the £6 and £8 line, even £10 line when I'm fishing on big rivers like the Wye and the Trent, targeting barbel. And also on commercials, so for method feeder work, again the £4 for me is my go-to line, and I will use slightly heavier if I'm targeting bigger carp and perhaps casting bigger distances. So for me, Richard, it's an absolutely fantastic range of sinking mono.
Good thing about this is its surface coating and its treatment is completely different to float mono.
Yeah.
So whereas the float mono is treated so it holds up in the surface, this is the opposite. This is actually treated so it cuts under the surface pretty much straight away and sinks, which is what you want it to do.
Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. So that's a fantastic addition to the range, and one that I know is going to prove to be really popular.